Hello, my lovely, beautiful souls. Okay, I'm getting the message for you from Spirit, my friend, is that you are being called to fully experience your life instead of watching yourself live your life. You are being called to fully immerse yourself in your humanness of what it means to be human, to live a life of pure bliss. Ooh, didn't even mean to rhyme, but it happened. So we're just going to go with it. But it's so glorious, right? And so delightful and tasty. That word bliss, right? You're being called to live a life of bliss. And that is what Spirit is calling you towards today. That is the message for you. I'm getting this feeling of someone being very rigorous with their spiritual growth and personal development and feeling like it's this constant long distance marathon and you feel tired, my friend, right? And Spirit is saying that growth is never truly over. We're always evolving. We're always growing. We're always having these seasons of breakthrough where we're coming from one phase of who we once were into a new phase of who we're becoming. That's always going to be there. But what I'm being called to tell you is to change your focus. Yeah. Change your focus, friend, right? So I'm definitely hearing for you that input, paying attention to your input is going to be highly valuable at this time. Social media, conversations, what are you speaking? What are you allowing yourself to listen to? What environments are you allowing yourself to really take part in and take heart to, right? Is what I'm hearing. What relationships are we giving life to and nourishing? Are they the right type of relationships? They say we are the sum of the 5 closest people around us, right? So I'm being called to tell you to pay very close attention to these things so that you can change your focus and go from being a bystander of your life and kind of watching yourself live out your days and instead be fully immersed in your human condition as you are right now and living in bliss. So we're going to get into some tarot, but first I want to do a bit of bibliomancy here. We're going to do Joy Chose You by Donna Ashworth, do a little bit of poetry to start us off. Spirit, what does the collective need to hear right now? Thank you. Good. Most people are good. Most people kiss their pets goodbye and read just one more bedtime story to their children. Most people visit their grandparents even when they have no time and stop by to check on quiet friends after a long day. Most people return their shopping trolleys despite already being late and let someone with only one item jump to the front of a queue. Most people give money when money is scarce, and most people worry about people they don't even know, day in and day out. When the world seems bad, remember, most people are good. I love that. I love that. A bit of optimism there for us, right? The world is good, even when it seems grim, even when and this is what I was getting into before. It's like Spirit's bringing up the news potentially. A lot of you could be newsies and seeing a lot of really grim headlines coming through, right? But being able to shift our focus into quieting the thoughts as well is what I'm getting. I wrote something down. I think it's quite pertinent. Where is it? I wrote it down. Oh, here it is. Transformation is not a result to be achieved, but a byproduct of letting go to be experienced. So when we think of transformation, a lot of us think of this like masculine type of energy, right? Where we're just embodying this forceful pushing. I got to make this fit. I have to make it work, right? Instead, what if Spirit, the universe, is now calling you to release and to let go a little bit, right? And to just experience. And I think it's interesting because what I was getting was this energy of you feeling like you're watching yourself living your life, but now you're being called to experience. But it's almost like I'm also getting this message of you like wanting to detach from your thoughts. Like this is you actively wanting this. But you're like, I don't necessarily know how to. So there could be a sensation here of not understanding or not knowing the through line of being able to like release judgment and self-criticism from our thoughts, because thoughts are one thing. We can't necessarily control thoughts. They're just something that pops into our mind as a result of us experiencing stimuli around us, right? We see a yellow candle, so we think the thought is yellow candle. However, thinking is when we start to have a judgment about the thought. I see a yellow candle. My brain signals to me, thought, yellow candle. When I start thinking is when I'm like, oh man, this candle's already almost half gone. I probably should get a new candle here in the next few days. And then suddenly I think something else about this. This candle's actually a bit too big. I want something a little bit smaller next time, I think. Suddenly we're in this loop of thinking about our situations, thinking about our circumstances. And that is where suffering can easily happen. That is where loops, doom loops, I guess you could call, similar to like doom scrolling on social media. It's like overthinking in the brain, doom loops. And so we can get lost, right? We can get lost in the sauce. And instead being able to observe, right, these thinkings. So being self-aware when we start to have that thinking, and then being like, oh, actually, is this making me feel good right now? Like to be judging myself this way, to be criticizing myself this way? Because you can't control your I mean, you can do the best that you can do, but at the end of the day, once you've done the best that you can do, the outcome, the circumstance, that's what you're left with. And when you judge something that you cannot control in that moment, in that point in time, when you bring yourself out of the present and you start judging and criticizing, that's you going into the past or going into the future. So you're actively pulling yourself from being present and having those thoughts, and then suddenly you're thinking, bringing you to the past, pulling you forward to the present. And then that's where you start to attach to these negative emotions. So think to yourself, first become self-aware when you're having, these thought loops, and be like, is this really making me feel good in this moment? And if the answer is no, then just go ahead and release it with love and just be like, yeah, I don't want to feel this right now, right? But also honor the emotions that come through. My grandma, she's departed now, but she gave me this message where she said, you want your emotions to flow through you. You don't want to ruminate with them. You don't want to get stuck with them. You want the emotions to flow through you as if you're a tree and the emotions are a string. And you see that string just pulling cleanly through the tree. It doesn't get caught and snagged in the branches. You don't get caught on the judgment, on the thought. You just allow that emotion, you allow that thought to flow. And then you experience it, you honor it, right? So it doesn't suppress itself within you. So it doesn't become like you're a bottle about to blow, right? Under pressure, but you allow that to just, release in its own way, just by allowing the wave to crash over you and then being done, right? So that's definitely the message that I am for sure getting here today. So they are naked. Oh no. I didn't prepare for this. Oh gosh, that's fine. We have the Lovers here. So definitely you are experiencing a time of inner harmony within yourself is what I'm getting. We also have the Six of Swords. Yeah, going into new territory, a new land. A new way of thinking, a new way of being here. We have the Six of Coins as well. Beautiful balance being restored. Yeah, do you see this owl here sitting on her head? Wisdom. And I was talking about the thoughts as well. You're having clarity of thought, wisdom, self-awareness applied to your mind, to your mental body, to the way that you think about things, right? Not just allowing life to happen to you, but being very introspective about it in a healthy way that aids you is what I'm hearing. We also have the Three of Wands. Beautiful. A decision being made and you actively moving towards it. Yes. I think it's so beautiful how I was talking before. It's almost like you're moving from this energy of having a feeling like life is happening to you. And like I said, I feel like this energy of you watching yourself living your life from the outside looking in, and you feeling this like exhausted, tired type of energy because there was maybe so much energy happening in the mental space, but now you're coming into a conscious awareness. Do you see these water droplets as well, corresponding to emotions? You're coming into this new, it's still a boat, but you're coming into new waters. You've made a decision to move away from this type of stuck energy and allow yourself to really flow with your energy currents. Oh, I love that. You're allowing yourself to flow with what is. And just allow it to be is what I heard. Just let it be. Ooh, like the Beatles. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Yeah, King of Coins. King of Pentacles is what this corresponds to. Really having this grounded authority within yourself is what I'm hearing. Yeah, being able to understand that you are the one who is breaking this cycle of burdensome within your heart. Like, I'm feeling a burdened heart here. You're not allowing that to happen anymore. You're saying no more. I choose freedom. I choose me, is what I just heard. Beautiful. What else, Spirit? What other words of encouragement? Thank you. Okay, we have King of Vases, King of Cups. Yeah, emotional mastery here. We have this whale outlined as well. How beautiful. Yeah, and it's almost like, what am I getting here? I want to see. Oh, and Six of Vases as well, Six of Cups. Yeah, this talks about childhood. Oh my goodness. And as well, do you see these flowers growing out of her head? Oh, think on these things, my child. And I don't know exactly what, but think on these things is what I'm hearing. Think on these things, my child. Look up, look up. Exactly. Being able to understand that some of this may have been conditioning from our childhood, Six of Cups here, corresponding to the inner child. And understanding that some of this is subconscious programming that we're working through, but we're doing it so diligently and so consciously is what I'm getting. This is in your conscious energy, this King of Cups energy, being able to understand that you have the power to change how you experience your life. You have that power, right? You do. How beautiful, how beautiful. Then at the bottom of the deck, we have Four of Vases as well. I think it's interesting. I've gotten this a few times as well in some recent readings, but you see him here. He is on his front, it looks like. So you're seeing things from a different perspective and understanding potentially how these triggers can help you. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. So, okay. Oh, yeah. So something else that I'm getting is that when you feel these emotions, what you're understanding now is that these triggers are your friends. I'm getting from Finding Nemo, where the sharks are like, fish are friends, not food. You're saying triggers are friends. They're not bad. So, but your emotions are guideposts, right? They're barometers to be able to show you directionally as like a compass. If you're on the right track, or I don't even want to use that terminology, but it's a compass to be able to show you if you are in alignment with where you truly want to go and who you truly want to be, or if you're out of alignment with who you want to be, right? Do we want to be people who are stressed, who are anxious, who are worrisome, or do we want to be people who are peaceful and compassionate and joyous and who trust ourselves, right? That is our compass. That is our barometer, my friend, right? And so you're understanding that these triggers are actually key cornerstones to be able to show you where you must change your direction, right? Your coordinates. If you're starting in point A and you want to go to point B, you need to make sure that directionally you keep on course so that you make it to your destination. Begin with the end in mind. Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. That is a book that you may want to read that is coming through very strongly for you. But that is what I'm getting here. That is definitely what I'm getting. You're doing all of this very consciously. This is a time of, this is a time of self-mastery is what I'm hearing as well. How powerful. Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. Can we get some other messages here, please? Other messages. Thank you. Okay. Intuition. Yeah. You guys are very, very, very intuitive here. 35. That breaks down to 8 as well. That could be very significant for someone. We also have grounding, 49. Oh, hummingbirds could also be very significant as well. I'm getting this feeling of you being called to ground. Sometimes it feels like you fly away a little bit, especially with this bird here that I'm seeing. It's like flitter, flitter, flatter, fly little birdie. But there may be this tendency to get a little bit caught up in the immensity of it all is what I'm feeling, like the grandioseness. Is that a word? in the bigness of it all, right? And being able to actually bring ourselves back to our body. Like I was saying before, having that self-awareness. What can happen as well is when you become aware of your thinking and your rumination and your thought loops, and you stop yourself, maybe take a big deep breath, give our brain that oxygen, right? And physiologically, actually, that hit of oxygen, extra oxygen to the brain, it lowers our stress response and our stress hormones. I don't know how it works. You're gonna have to look that up, but like scientifically, that actually does work. So when people say like take a big breath, it's not just like, oh, it's a nice thing to do for yourself, like emotionally. Like, no, it actually does help you calm down. So take a big deep breath, and then maybe say a grounding phrase. Like I remember when I was going through a really heavy season of alchemizing a lot of really, really big emotions in my life. There was a few things really traumatic that had happened to me. I was just getting like every day, it was like wave after wave after wave of things that were just causing me to just be pulled under the current of this like storm, right? And all of these big ocean waves were just like crashing over me and pulling me under. So what I would do is I would pause, I would breathe, and then my grounding phrase to me was fascinating. And I would tell myself, fascinating, like to just be able to pull myself out of it and to be able to objectively look at that thought process, that programming from an outside perspective. And in that way, being able to be objective, not in the way that we live our lives, right? We want to fully experience and be in our bodies and live our human experiences to their fullest, but we want to be very objective with our thinking, right? So thinking versus experiencing is that kind of dichotomy that I'm getting here. And then positive down at the bottom, 44, angel number for sure. Your angels are with you right now. They are heavy in this message, it would seem. How beautiful. Oh dear. These cards are quite slippery, so I had some that fell through, but the boundaries actually just came up as well. So 45, boundaries could be very significant as well. Yeah, what was I saying earlier? Wow, yeah. I was saying that your input is going to be very, very important at this time, because what you take in is very impressionable to the subconscious mind. That forms our subconscious is what we our patterns and what we think again and again and again, and situations and energies that we can consistently find ourselves within, that forms like an identity loop inside of our subconscious, is what Spirit is saying. Fascinating. Yeah. So I'm hearing that being able to be very mindful of what you're inputting into your precious mind is what Spirit is saying. Into your precious mind, being very aware of that is going to help for sure. We have message. You may receive a text or form of online message, conversing, communication, exchange. Yeah, so definitely what I'm getting from this is relationships, right? And being able to be very discerning with the types of people that we're pouring into and are pouring into us. Also, I'm being called to share with you, because we also have the 6 of coins here. Sometimes it can point to an imbalance in dynamics or in relationships somehow, some way. And so, not somehow, some way, but I'm getting somehow, some way through you, you are being called to discern what relationships are working for you, what relationships are balanced, and where maybe you're giving a lot and you're not really receiving much value back, is what I'm hearing. Then at the bottom of the deck, we have strategy, aim, approach. Yeah, I feel like you are embodying, like I was saying before, like we have this King of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, King of Cups energy happening here. I think there's a lot of you being very conscious, like I said, very self-aware, very conscious, very strategic about how to navigate through your emotional body at this time, and how that affects your life, right? How that affects how you live your life. So I want to leave that there. I think that's everything that's coming through right now. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. My very first video here. How exciting. I love you guys so much, and I will definitely see you in the next one. Thank you. It was an honor getting to sit with your energy and hopefully helping just a bit as we continue walking each other back home to ourselves. So goodbye.